And we're good to go. Hello, everybody. Hi, Chris. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, anyone else who happened to pop in. Hey, Vicky. Good to see you. How are you? How are all of you? Chris, I was just reading your comment. Almost 3 months and 8 days smoke-free. That is excellent news. Congratulations. It's been a really, a big journey for you. So I'm really happy that you've made it this far, and hopefully you have many more days to come. Hey Amelia, how are you today? Hope you're well. Just gonna have a little sip of tea. Hopefully I don't slurp all over the place. Hey Rania, do I pronounce your name Rania, Rania? Hey, good to see you. Yeah, so it is time for the monthly live hangout. Here to answer any questions, talk about anything that you'd like to talk about, or I can just ramble on for an hour because apparently I'm very good at that. Jeannie, how are you, Chris? I'm good. I'm tired today. I stayed out late last night. I went to watch a band locally and then got home and watched a movie, so it was very late when I went to bed. But I'm feeling good. I'm in a very happy place in my life where lots of things seem to be going well for me, so I'm very much happy about that. Question is, how are you all doing? That's the big one. Just before we get, I'll mention this again at the end, but I am on my game today, so I've already set up the link for next month's live stream hangout, which is, if I remember rightly, the 25th of September. If I have done things properly, when this live stream ends, it'll redirect you to the page for the next live stream if you want to set a notification, or if you want to bookmark it, or even if you just want to completely ignore it. Yeah, so we can just ramble on, all is good. What was I just going to say? Oh yeah, why Vicky is here. I thank Vicky all the time in private for all the amazing work that she does for our Finding Freedom Facebook group. But while you're here, Vicky, I will thank you in person. I could not manage the group by myself, and I'm really grateful that you're here and that you do such a good job for us. We were chatting about how there just never seems to be any drama or anybody kicking off or getting upset with one another in Finding Freedom in the way that I see all the time in other groups. My screen is shaking. Okay, let's try that. I've had to pop this on my knee because the sun is really bright, but let's try putting it up there. How does that look? Can you see me with the sun in my face? In fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to close the curtain. Hold on. Hopefully that's a bit better and you can see me better and the screen doesn't shake as much. Maybe a little darker, but at least you can see me now. So what the heck was I saying? Oh yeah, about the Finding Freedom group. I'm in some groups. I'm in one group on Facebook for counselling, and as counsellors we're supposed to be empathetic and lovely and nice, and there is always an argument in there every single day. So I'm really grateful that everyone in Finding Freedom just gets on and is nice and looks out for each other and is genuinely supportive. Will quickly mention the link as I always do. It is facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1, or you can click on pretty much any video. I'll always put the link in there. Jeannie says, I watch your videos every day, Chris. Well, thank you so much for that, Jeannie. I really do hope that you find them valuable, that you get something from them. As long as people want me to keep making these videos, as long as people want to keep doing the live streams, I will absolutely keep doing them. It is, as always, just the greatest joy in my life to be able to do this. It's a very humbling thing to put myself out there and not really expect much from it, and then to get all this lovely feedback from you. It is such a rewarding thing to do. And it makes all of my experiences worth it. So all of the hassle and the hard work and the absolute, millions of failures to quit smoking and then succeed, it was all worth it because I now get to do this. All of the work, all of the pain that I went through with my mental health, as dark and as scary and as horrible as that was, it remains entirely worth it because those are experiences that I can now draw on and come and talk to you about, and hopefully, just add a little something, to make your life a little better. I hope I do. Yes, Vicky's our Facebook group moderator, and I love the group too. We do have some very awesome people in there, and I'm grateful for every single person. And as I said the last time I posted in the group, I don't comment on every single post, and it's not that I single some people out and others. Sometimes I only get a minute to just scroll through, but I do genuinely read every post and do genuinely, wish everybody well and celebrate your successes. And when things are not going well, I am thinking about you and I am absolutely rooting for you. Hey Scott, how's it going, mate? Yeah, all good here. Just saying I'm tired today, but I'm alive, I'm well, I'm happy. I've got my green tea, got my water, got my YouTube friends. Couldn't ask for anything more than that. So like I said, if there's anything you would like me to talk about while I'm here, then absolutely, suggest a topic or ask a question. That's completely fine. I never really plan anything for these live streams. Maybe I should, but I always just think I'm just going to turn the camera on and talk for an hour and see where we end up. One thing I will talk about just while we're here is about this idea of adapting to where we are in life. I tend not to have very hard and fast rules for my life about many things. I always tend to adapt to where I am. And I'm doing that at the minute. So, because it's been a very long time since I got sober and started to sort my life out, I've been in a good place for a long time. And I have been able to, go and meet a friend in a bar, or like I said, I went watching a band last night, and be completely fine with it, and never feel tempted to have to drink or do anything. Normally I just eat something, get my arse kicked at pool because I'm the world's worst pool player, go home and, and feel completely fine. And then, when was it? Like a couple of days ago, I was finishing some work that I'm doing. I'm doing a bit of work as a bereavement counsellor. I spend one day a week talking to people about their grief and their losses. And much like this, it is such rewarding work. But unlike this, it's also very emotionally draining. We're talking about some quite heavy stuff. And so I did this and I came away feeling not physically tired, but just like, wow. And it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. All the pubs had their tables outside and people were drinking beers. And I walked past and I had this like ting in my head of, oh, that would be so nice right now just to be able to do that. And I kind of dismissed it. It wasn't, it was a little more than an intrusive thought, but not much more. So I dismissed it. And then a few days later, I went out and met a friend for something to eat. And it was in a place that served alcohol. And I realized that after that experience, it had kind of stuck with me a little bit more than I'd realized. So I kind of made the decision that after, because I'd already made plans for last night and I didn't want to let people down. So I've kind of made the decision now that going in bars again isn't quite right for me, just at least for the time being. Hey Veronica, really good to see you. Yeah, so that's something that I need to step away from. But I'm kind of not going, well, that's it, I can never go into anywhere that sells alcohol ever again, because it's not like that. It's about where I am at the present and being mindful enough and aware enough, yeah, I said that right, aware enough of what's going on for me and mindful enough to know that that's not right, and without necessarily pining for a day when I can do that again, knowing that if at some point, things are different for me, maybe I can go back. And it's just about adapting to where I am. I always say, for me, it's not about what is going on around me, it's about what's going on within me. I can be the absolute happiest person in the world, and to be honest, lately I have been the happiest person in the world for all kinds of reasons. And if I'm getting that little ting of maybe I should drink, then I'm smart enough to know I'll just take myself out of this situation for a while and figure out what's going on. Why am I suddenly getting these thoughts? And I can adapt again if things change. And I do know that, for me, being in a bar itself doesn't really matter. If I am determined to drink, it doesn't matter if alcohol is 5 feet away from me or 500 miles away from me. If I'm that determined, I will get it. But obviously, if I'm having those thoughts lately, then it's like, just take myself out of this situation for a little bit of time. And I think that's the same what I've just said then about if it doesn't matter if it's close by or far away. The same applied for me when I smoked. It wouldn't matter. I would go to any lengths to get a cigarette if I desperately needed one. I remember years and years ago, I could have only been in my early 20s, I think, and it was Christmas Day, and I ran out of cigarettes, and I remember spending about 2 hours going all over the place trying to find cigarettes. And in the end, I found a pub that was open for Christmas dinners. And this was when, you don't see these anymore, I think they've just got rid of them. There used to be like the cigarette machines at the front of pubs, and it was like a vending machine. And I remember going in, I was away for miles just to get a cigarette, because that's how desperately, hopelessly addicted I was to that nicotine, that I would have gone through any lengths. So even though, one of the things for me is, if we're quitting smoking, it's a good idea to get rid of all the smoking stuff, right? Throw all the cigarettes away, get rid of lighters and ashtrays and everything before the quit. If you are, I think if you're anything like me and you're so determined to smoke, then you're always going to find a way. But obviously, it's just easier if that stuff isn't there. It presents another obstacle between giving up on that quit. If there's no cigarettes in the house and you're determined to smoke, it means we can go, there are opportunities, is what I'm trying to say. I knew the thought would come to me. There are opportunities to change our minds. If I've no cigarettes in the house and I'm determined I'm going to smoke, well then first I have to go to the shop and buy them. So first I have to put my shoes on. And as I'm putting my shoes on, that's an opportunity to change my mind. And say, actually, I'm going to take my shoes back off and just go back up, and do whatever. Then I have to leave the front door. So I have to leave the house. So if I leave the house, it's another opportunity to change my mind. Well, I'm out of the house, but that doesn't mean I have to go to the shop, turn around and go for a walk, or go pretty much anywhere else that I want to go. And if I don't take that opportunity and I walk to the shop, just because I'm at the shop, I'm not obligated to go into the shop. I could turn around just as easily and go home. If I'm embarrassed, I can do that over-exaggerated thing of, oh no, I forgot my wallet, I have to go. If I then decide to go into the shop, I'm still not obligated to buy cigarettes. I can buy anything else. I can again do the exaggerated, oh no, I forgot my wallet, I have to go, sorry. If I buy the cigarettes, I'm under no obligation to smoke them. Yeah, but I just spent an awful lot of money on these cigarettes, so I am obligated to smoke them. Says who? Says who? You open the packet, there's no obligation to take the cigarette out of the packet. You put the cigarette in your mouth, there's no obligation. All of these millions of opportunities we have. So the further we are from cigarettes originally, the greater, I think, the greater chance we have of, not picking up that cigarette. Veronica, I said hello to you, but I didn't ask how you're doing. So how are you, Veronica? Hope you're well. Sue, lovely to see you as always. Sue, I loved your video yesterday. I had to laugh at some of it because I did many of the same things. Sue, I'm so glad about that. When I was making that video yesterday, I was kind of wondering, am I the only person that has done all these crazy things? Am I the only person that had to pack deodorants and mints to take with me on every journey because I didn't want people knowing? Am I the only person that had to plan so much, or that walked through airport security twice just so that I could get a cigarette? It's always nice to know that we're not the only ones, right? This crazy nicotine addiction that we have can drive us to do so many mad things. And it's like I said in the video, it's all those extra steps. Or as I was saying in the video yesterday, for some reason, extra steps. That people can go to work, go to the airport, go and spend time with friends, go to work meetings, and just do all that without having to think about how and when they're going to smoke. It's all the extra work that they've got to do. Coffee and Tattoos, hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Do I pronounce your name Gigi? I'm gonna say Gigi. If I've got that wrong, tell me. I'm awful at pronouncing people's names and it's so embarrassing for me. Hello to you. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Vicky, take your time. Enjoy your coffee. Sue says, they're trying to find a lighter and the stove and the hair. Oh, yeah. Remember my hair used to be down here and I'd be going, oops. So many singed hairs. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. I'm wondering where the heck my lighter was. Touring the house upside down trying to find one. Search ashtrays for a long pot. How gross is that? I remember doing that too. I was showing in the video yesterday about that thing of, it's 11:15 and all the stores close in 15 minutes. So that means I've really got to think carefully about, do I have enough cigarettes to get through the evening? And if I don't, making that mad dash, sometimes not realizing that I didn't have any. And I did that too. Yeah, can I smoke? Can I get a little bit off that? Can I get a little bit off that? I did this before. At one point I was in between smoking rollies, nasty rollies, and smoking cigarettes, and kind of got all the fag ends and cig ends, and put them all in like a Rizzler paper and rolled that up and smoked that. So many disgusting things that I used to do. I did that a few days ago. Yeah. And it used to be just such a normal part of life. It was only when I started to really focus on my quit that I did realize how horrible that was, and how desperate I was that I would do that. And again, that therein comes that conflict, I think, of I recognize what I'm doing is awful and horrible, and I don't want to be doing this, and I'm being pulled in this direction to just quit doing this. And this other direction of, but I can't, and I really, there's some part of me that still wants it. And I really had to really focus on why I wanted to quit, so that I could get rid of this pull, get rid of this thing that was holding me back. Welcome back, Vicky. Kerry Butler, thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. I'm not sure actually how the thing works where you can tip me and stuff, but I do genuinely appreciate it. I don't make a lot of money from the YouTube videos, which is fine. It's never about money, but I certainly appreciate gifts like that, Kerry. Thank you so much. That's Gwen made my day. Melissa Cheshire, how are you doing? It's lovely to see you. Melissa, I've not spoken to you for ages. How are you? Sorry, just drinking my tea. Yeah, so I do hope you're all doing well. Like I said before, I haven't planned anything at all for this live stream. I'm just kind of rambling on as I go. For those of you who missed it earlier, I was saying that I've already planned next month's live stream because I'm on my game today. It's going to be Saturday, September 25th, 6:30 p.m. as normal. What should happen is when this live stream ends, you'll be redirected to the page for the next one if you want to set a notification, if you want to bookmark it, or just know that it's there. But of course, I'll also be posting it out in the videos, and obviously Finding Freedom and elsewhere too. Oh, I'm glad you're doing good. Thank you so much. I'm tired today, but so I don't necessarily feel like I'm looking great, but I will take that compliment, Melissa. Thank you. Nimrod G35. I'm in day 5 without a cigarette. Well done. That is excellent news. I'm so pleased for you. Those first couple of days are definitely the toughest. So it's once you get to about day 5, I'm not going to say that things are definitely going to get easier, because every single person's journey is absolutely completely different. But I genuinely think that the first couple of days are the hardest. So if you can get through 5 days, then you can get through 6 days, 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years, on and on and on. Hey Michael, good to see you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing incredibly well. Since I have nothing to talk about, I'm just going to quickly show you this little book that I'm reading. It's called It's Okay That You're Not Okay by a lady called Megan Devine. It's called It's Okay That You're Not Okay, Meeting Grief and Loss in a Culture That Doesn't Understand. I got this book to help with the grief counseling that I'm doing, but it's not just about people passing away. It's about relationships ending, about any kind of loss in our life. And some of the stuff, even though personally I'm not dealing with grief right now, there's a really good message just in the book in general about how important it is to just feel your feelings, and how it's perfectly okay to just feel your feelings. Sometimes when we're feeling bad, the obvious thing is, I want to fix this problem straight away. We see our, we take our emotions and we say, these are all the good emotions, and we should only ever feel these. And these are all the bad emotions, the negative emotions, and we should never feel these. So then when we do feel sad or anything like that, it's like I need to get rid of this and fix it straight away. And this amazing book is just saying, it's okay about, it's okay to just feel what you're feeling. And grief and sadness and all those negative things are not things to be fixed, they're things to be experienced and go through. So while I was rambling on that, I've got a whole bunch of comments I need to catch up on. Let me see what you said, Michael. So I quit smoking with your videos for like 1 year and then had a relapse and smoked 3 cigarettes in 2 days. Any advice? Yes, lots of advice. I'm going to read through these comments and then we'll get to lots of all the good advice. I'll say good advice, that was very big-headed of me, wasn't it? I'll get to the best advice I can possibly give you. Coffee and tattoos, I'm shocked at the amount of time it takes to change my habit. It does take time, but we can do these things one day, one step, one decision at a time, and there will come a point when that habit has just changed without realizing it. I think when we quit smoking, there are very rarely these light bulb moments where it's like, nailed it. It's just over time we adapt to a new way of life. Sue says, I found that during this journey my reasons change for staying quit, and then I don't have to struggle with the conflicts. Absolutely. Yeah, I think, for me, some of my reasons are the same, but the reason I don't smoke now is a bit different from the reason why I quit in the first place. Michael, dealing with some mental health flare-up, and I'm linking your 2 comments together, Michael. That's what's triggered the relapse, I assume. Yeah, so I will come to that. Amelia says, I love that book. It helped me so much. Yeah, it's such an absolute game. I'm just going to flash it again. It's been such a game changer, this book. I really like it. Lincoln Lane, Chris, what do I think about the vaccine mandates? I absolutely don't know. See, where I am in England, they're not mandatory. We can just, it's a personal choice. So I don't know too much about that. I'm sorry. Melissa, can I please send you a link? Yes, I'll post it on my page. And Melissa, I know you anyway, so I'll send you that. Melissa, hi. Hi, Chris. Hi, gang. Just now joining at the grocery store. Pick me up something nice, Melissa, won't you? It's really good to see you. I'm very glad that you're here. Melissa, I feel like I haven't interacted with you for a very long time, but I have been watching your videos in Finding Freedom, and they are so good. They're so inspirational, and no doubt helping a lot of people. Okay. I'm going to go back now just to Michael's comments, because otherwise I'll never get to it, and I haven't forgotten about you, Michael. I was just catching up a little bit. Okay, so Michael, you asked me, you quit smoking with the videos for a year. That was excellent. I'm glad the videos were helpful. And you relapsed and smoked 3 cigs in 2 days. Any advice? And you're dealing with some mental health flare-up. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind, Michael, is 3 cigarettes in 2 days as a relapse is actually pretty good going. I think that for some people, once they relapse, it's just straight back into it, and it's, the old habit resumes quite away. So 3 cigarettes in 2 days, although all of those cigarettes, you don't want to be having any of them, the fact that you've been able to just have 3 in 2 days proves once again that you can do this. You can go without a cigarette. You can go for an hour. You can go for 2 hours, you can go for 3 hours, and so on. I had another thought and I've completely lost it. What the heck was I just thinking about? Oh my goodness, Michael, I'm sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. That's fun, isn't it? yeah, so if you can do that, that's what I was going to say to you. That 1 year was not wasted. That 1 year is even more evidence that you can do this. And what I would say, for me, would be to reflect on that year, especially reflect on the start of that year. What worked for you? Do more of that. What didn't work for you at all? Do less of that. Think about this mental health flare-up that you're having, which I'm really sorry to hear about, by the way. Mental health can be such an awful thing sometimes. And to think about that mental health flare-up and really think about, how can I handle this, and what is that cigarette doing for me? If I'm depressed or I'm anxious or all, any one of these things are happening, did those 3 cigarettes actually make any difference to you? Did they make you, you don't have to tell me details about what's going on, but did they make you less depressed or less stressed or less anxious? Or was it just, well, now I'm dealing with my mental health and I'm beating myself up over this cigarette? And I'm going to guess, it is only a guess, but I'm going to guess that those cigarettes didn't really change anything at all. And to keep that in mind. And then to have some kind of plan of action. When this thought comes of, I'm going to have a cigarette, what can I do instead? Do I go for a walk? Do I phone a friend? Do I, self-promotion time? Do I watch one of Chris's videos? What do I do? And find another way through it. Does that help at all, Michael? There's so much more we can talk about on this, there really is. But hopefully that's a little bit to get you started. I missed a comment earlier. Hey, day 7 without a cig. Cold turkey, going through a nasty breakup. Oh, those are awful. Lots of losses. Girlfriend, loss of cigarettes, loss of not drinking beer. Try my best to be my best version in some way. And that's such a big thing to hold on to. I am so sorry about your breakup. I really am. But if you think about, one way we can quickly reframe that for you is, have you lost cigarettes? Or have you lost coughing and choking yourself and polluting your body? Have you lost all of that, all those hassles and hard works that I talked about in yesterday's video? Loss of not drinking beer. Absolutely. Yeah, I was talking at the start of this about when I had the weird experience of pining for a beer the other day and didn't have one. But again, it's not, if you're trying to be this version of you that doesn't drink and doesn't smoke and is the best version of you, you're not losing drinking beer. You're gaining a whole new, healthier way of living. But I can absolutely understand and appreciate that, absolutely add, take all these things out whilst going through this painful breakup. It absolutely can seem like a big loss to you. I've totally lost track of the comments. Let's keep up. Melissa, I already said hi to you. Coffee and tattoos. I am angry because I just moved to a new area and I haven't been able to get started with a new mental health provider because everything is delayed for months due to COVID. And then you also say, but Chris, I mean, it literally felt like 4 or 5 hours my first day of just nothing but practicing quitting techniques. Those techniques work, whatever works for you, keep that up. But yeah, finding a mental health provider can be tough at the best of times. I'm not sure where you are, but here in England we have the National Health Service, And it's kind of blasphemous to say anything negative about the National Health Service, especially you know, in the light of COVID. But their mental health service here is awful. When I injured my finger the other week, I went in and got that fixed up straight away. But then when my head absolutely fell off and I felt broken, I could not get any support at all. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I started to help myself, did all kind of things, and that's how I ended up training to be a therapist, because I thought if our health service isn't going to help me, I'm just going to have to do this myself. So, you know, I'm not saying to you, just do it yourself. I'm just saying I absolutely feel for you, that it's so hard, you know, how frustrating it can be to get that help. Okay, let's go. Wow, you guys are busy now. Dan Williams says, hello, Chris. I feel different in my ability to stop because I used nicotine as a crutch of a brain injury and you're panicking. Oh, Dan, I'm so sorry to hear about your injury. I hope you're okay and, you know, making a recovery as best you can. That sounds really hard, you know, but I'm sure that there are 1,000,001 different things that you can do to help yourself through that, Dan. I really are. I really am. Yeah, you know, if you think about all the poisonous chemicals and the substances that are in alcohol, come on, Christopher, get it together. All of the poisonous substances that are in cigarettes, you know, it's got to be like, surely this isn't going to help. You know, and I don't mean that to sound unsympathetic. I really do feel for you after your injury. But you think about all the way it affects us physically, maybe taking even longer for that injury to heal, even if it is possible for it to heal, you know, as a result of the cigarettes. And I'm convinced that there are so many other things, you know, you could be doing. Jeannie, I'm using my inhaler and not smoking cigarettes. Do what you need to do. If that's working for you, absolutely. Where are we? Lincoln says, I quit smoking years ago. I don't miss it. I never thought I could do it. But I did, and so can you. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's one of the things, you know, that every single person's journey is absolutely different, but every single person can find a way that works for them. I'm convinced to a man that is the case. You know, and it's one of those things where, the screen that I'm streaming on, it's like a 2-second delay for me. So every now and again I see myself, and it's very distracting. What the heck was I talking about again? Yeah, one of the things I love about Finding Freedom is that there are so many people who have managed to quit in all kinds of different ways. You know, and it's like picking what works, and it's these people saying, look, I can do this, and if I can do it, so can you. So Lincoln, congratulations on your quit. Take your time, Vicky, no problem. We'll be up to you. Melissa Cheshire says, in my experience, I give them as my excuses as to why I'm not quitting yet. If I'm waiting for my mental health to get better, I'll never ever quit. That's absolutely true. I don't know if you saw the videos that I did on smoking and depression, you know, and I was saying there's this kind of circular relationship where people with mental health issues are more likely to smoke, but at the same time, smoking is more likely to make depression worse. So we get stuck in this absolutely vicious circle of it. You know, and I think it's a common thing to say, well, I'm going to get my mental health sorted and then I'll quit smoking. Whereas it might be an even better idea to say, actually, I'm going to quit smoking and that's going to help my mental health. That can be the first step towards, you know, getting myself back together. So So, you know, if you haven't watched those videos, they're on my, I can't post links in the chat for some reason, but if you search quitting smoking and depression on my channel, those videos are in there. So I think for anyone dealing with depression, absolutely I would recommend checking those out. I haven't yet touched on anxiety, but I am totally going to touch on anxiety in the next couple of videos in the same way that I did with depression. So I tend to have not experienced anxiety a lot in my life. Depression was always the big thing for me. But last week I had like 2 or 3 days of absolute bizarre anxiety where my legs felt like jelly and I felt really dizzy and I couldn't focus on anything. So I'm going to make a video next week and talk about that, and then I'm going to do similar videos like the depression ones where I pull up studies and some research and all kinds of stuff that we've that we've learned about how smoking affects anxiety and how quitting affects anxiety. Michael says, thanks, I'll reflect on that year and we'll keep posting and finding freedom. I look forward to seeing your post, Michael. I really do. Lincoln says, Chris, I quit years ago. I'm so happy I did. I will say, though, I used to smoke to distract from bad feelings. Ever since quitting smoking, I feel a lot more vulnerable emotionally, and journaling helps. It absolutely, I love journaling. I love any kind of writing that can get me out, take what's up here and what's in here and get it onto the page, sort out my thoughts, sort out my feelings. And yeah, it's like I think I said this in the video yesterday, and I definitely said it before in the past about, we think about this thing of, I'm feeling bad right now. So what I'm going to do on these bad feelings is make things even worse by polluting myself and choking myself. When it's probably perhaps better to feel those feelings. I think even our negative feelings have positive intentions and things we can learn from them, and things that we can use them to feel valuable. Next, Melissa says, guess what? Today is day 50. It's feeling great. Melissa, that's so amazing. That's day 50. There you go. That is absolute proof that this can be done. Well done, Melissa. That's excellent news. I hope you find some nice way to celebrate that big achievement today. Yes, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Vicky's back. I'm glad all that's taken care of. Melissa Cheshire says yes, but I'm going to rewatch and see if I can get motivated. My doctor actually said to get on meds first and then quit. On my routine to help, but nothing yet. Oh my god, anxiety too. Yes, I definitely do the anxiety, and absolutely, always, always, always. This should go without saying, but always take your doctor's advice on whatever they say if that feels right for you, and especially take your doctor's advice over me because I'm not a doctor. I'm just some dude sat on his couch talking to you. Anxiety is brutal when I quit. It absolutely is. So I think that's another thing. When I do my video next week about my anxiety, I will talk about how I kind of dealt with it and how I got through it. For me, I'll just give you a sneak preview. For me, it was a couple of things. I had to meditate for a little while, just to ground myself enough to be able to tackle it. I think the first day I didn't do anything. I let myself. Sorry, Melissa Cheshire, I've just saw you say that you have to go. So much love to you too, and hope to speak to you soon. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so on that first day, I just kind of sat with my anxiety a little bit and tried to, just be with it and see, see what it was about. I had someone that I could talk to that really helped. I have my self-care box that I've shown you before. I dove into that. At one point, I literally just put some music on and started dancing and singing around the living room. And yes, I do dance like that, which is why I never dance in public. You know, a few different things, and I'll talk about them all in the video when I get to them. Chris Burke says, I've been having dreams about quitting smoking. The dream is so real. The cigarettes taste so real, but I'm disgusted by it. Yep, I had all those dreams too. Chris, I don't know if you saw the video I did years ago that was exclusively about smoking dreams and how they are relatively harmless. I mean, not even relatively harmless. They are completely harmless and can actually be a very good thing. You know, if you're having this waking up from a smoking dream and being absolutely disgusted, that's a good sign, right? It's got to be like, yeah, I have no desire to smoke because I'm so disgusted and repulsed by the idea of smoking. And coughing continues. He's talking to the other Chris, so that's fine. So I'm just going to let you have that comment. Dreams and drama. Jeannie says, love your videos, Chris. Thank you so much, Jeannie. I am so glad that you find them helpful. Melissa, what else will you do with your weekend besides helping others? What will I do? When I finish here, I think I'm going to go for a run. I was going to do some yoga today, but it's a nice day and I'm feeling the urge to move around. So I'm going to go for a run, and then hopefully there's a dear friend of mine that I would love to talk to today, if that's at all possible, but I'll figure that out later. Then I'm just going to watch another movie tonight, and then tomorrow, I am going to my parents' house. I'm going to help them with the gardening, see my beautiful niece, and then I don't know, my Sunday afternoon is free. One thing I do want to do, but I'm probably not going to do it until I get back from a holiday I'm going on in a few weeks' time, is I want to record a new guided relaxation self-hypnosis thing. There's the one that's already on my YouTube channel, but I've got so much more I can do with the hypnotherapy thing now, so I'd love to record that. I was going to do it tomorrow, but nah, I'll do it in a few weeks' time, and I will post that on the channel when you see it. I'll post it on the channel and you'll see it when you see it, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Coffee test. I like to dance. It's fun. It really is. I'm not a good dancer by any stretch, but I will absolutely blast some music. I've been listening to some fun songs lately, songs that I don't normally listen to, because I have been in such a good mood lately and just very happy. I got back from the gym the other day and I had Dancing on the Ceiling in my head by Lionel Richie, so that went on, getting it on. It was all good. Yeah, I bought your book, Chris. Thanks. It's been my new companion. Really awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that you. First of all, thank you so much for buying the book, and I'm so glad, so glad that you're finding it helpful. I don't know if you've used any of the worksheets or the downloads, but I hope they're available too for you to use. I do actually have a plan, and I've been meaning to do this like all year. But I own the domain names quitsmokingandbehappy.com. What I'd like to do is set up a separate website just for the book and all the downloads and all the worksheets and all the journal prompts and other things that are really going to be as helpful as possible. On those days I feel like I'm backed into a corner, I go back and watch Chris's previous videos. Reinforces my effort and it gives me a kind of renewed strength. Vicky, I'm so glad that the videos do help with that. I'm so glad that the videos help in any way at all for anyone. Thank you. You're welcome. So we've got about 10 minutes, I'll say. 10, 15 minutes, depending on how it goes. So if anyone has any other questions they'd like to ask, or anything else they'd like me to talk about, then I can talk away. I've said this twice already now, but I'm aware that people have popped in and popped out. So if you've been here since the beginning, I am sorry that I'm going to repeat myself. The next live stream is on Saturday, September the 25th. I definitely got the dates right this time. And when this live stream ends, if I've set it up properly, it should redirect you to a page where the next one is, you know, so that you can watch that, so that you can sort of set a notification, you know where that is. Jeannie says, I want to buy your book too, Chris. You absolutely can. Look what I happen to have here. It's called Quit Smoking and Be Happy. It is available in print and ebook form on Amazon. And I think it's still, if you have the Kindle Unlimited thing on Amazon, I think you can still get it for free. I'm going to take that off the Kindle Unlimited thing at the end of the year, but it is available for now. Melissa sounds like a great idea for the book. It would be wonderful to have one spot to access all info. The book was fantastic, by the way. Thank you so much. I'm so glad, you know, that anyone finds it helpful. I'm especially glad that you found it helpful. Yeah, I want to kind of put everything in one place. When I wrote the book, I only had my chrisscoyles.com domain name, so I just kind of put everything there. But it would be nice to, you know, just to be able to go to one place and get everything. And I'll be able to post these videos that I do and any other information that we have. Ooh la la, indeed. Yeah, so that was my next thing, to plug the book. One thing I will ask of you, if any of you can, if you've bought the book and you've enjoyed it and you found it helpful and you're able to leave a review for me on Amazon telling me how fantastic it is, I'd really appreciate that. It really makes a big difference to me. The reviews, I don't even think I'm allowed to even ask you for reviews, but I'm doing it anyway. The reviews help me with like the star ratings, and more people find out about the book, then the more people we can help. And yeah, so if you can do that, I would very much appreciate it. I like the domain name. I bought them, I think, last year, and then I keep writing it down on my to-do list for the month. Like, do the website, and then I get distracted, and all kinds of other things get in the way. At the minute, I'm focusing my efforts on trying to build my therapy practice, but I've only got like another week of stuff I need to do for my marketing on that. Then I'm going on holiday for a week. I'm going to go and spend a whole week with my family, which is going to be interesting. And then when I get back from that, I will definitely put that website together, or just get somebody to do it for me. I don't know yet. But yeah, look out for that in the near future. And of course, as soon as it's done, I'll be bugging you all about it anyway, so you will hear about it. Yeah, so we're kind of coming to the end. Like I said, I'm happy to stick around for another 5-10 minutes if anyone wants me to, or if this is feeling like a good time to wind things down, that is fine too. Also, a quick apology. I realize I've spent this whole video playing with my shirt sleeves. They keep sliding down to my elbow, so I should have just worn them full length. So I'm sorry if that's been terribly distracting for you. I never even wear this shirt, but thought I'd make an effort for you today. Yeah, so next video will be next week, and it'll be about anxiety, and I'll do a couple of those. If there's anything else you'd like me to talk about in future videos, either let me know now or in the comments or in the group. And you know, I've got a big list of stuff I want to talk about, but I always like to respond to the things that you want me to talk about. Arthur says, hey Chris, this is day 12 without nicotine. Arthur, that's amazing. Congratulations. That's a big step, isn't it? Day 12, that's almost 2 full weeks. keep up the good work. Like I was saying to, oh my goodness, this is terrible. I can't even remember. I was saying this to the person who quit for 5 days. Saying if you can quit for 5 days, you can quit for 6 days, 7 days, 7 months. If you can quit for 12 days, you can quit for 13, 14 months, weeks, years. It's absolutely possible. Sue says, thank you for all you do. Enjoy your run. I absolutely shall. I always enjoy my runs. As insane as that sounds to some people, that running isn't supposed to be fun, it absolutely is. When I get into that zone and everything just feels good and the music's playing and I'm happy and you know, taking care of my physical body, it's so good. And I made, this is one thing I haven't told you actually. When I finished the video yesterday, I made like an extra little bonus video about a few more reasons why being a non-smoker is easier than being a smoker. And I was saying in that, you know, like I love running and I love going to the gym, and you know, mainly because I also love eating, so it kind of cancels it out. But I know I could not run the way that I run if my lungs were full of crap. You know, my running over the years, I've got faster and faster. I'm like Michael Scott in the episode of The Office when they do that 5K. I am very fast. I'm like that. You know, I get so much fat, and I couldn't do that. I certainly couldn't maintain that. You know, if my lungs were full of crap and I was smoking. You know, and I'm not saying that we all have to quit smoking and go and run like a lunatic. You know, but it's just, it amazes me how so many aspects of our life are impacted by just this one thing that we need to do. Quitting smoking is a big step for so many of us. But compared to the absolute hassle of smoking, compared to all the infinite number of ways. Good to see you, Melissa. I'll hopefully see you at the next live stream next month. Take care of yourself. Compared to all the ways that it impacts us, smoking impacts our bodies, and compared to all the benefits we get, it is absolutely worth doing. It's not always easy, but it is always entirely worth it. And on that note, I think this sounds like a good place to end for today. So I will just say thank you all so much for coming and spending time with me today. I always genuinely love these monthly hangouts, always look forward to them. This one has not disappointed. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to spend time with you. Thank you for all of your questions and your comments. Yeah, Vicky, I wouldn't be doing marathon food preserving sessions if I was still smoking. I'm doing so much more now. Absolutely. It's a life changer. It really is. So I'm going to end here. Thank you all for coming. Couple of things. September 25th, I will hopefully see you then. The book, again, is this thing. It's called Quit Smoking and Be Happy. And, of course, our amazing Facebook community, Finding Freedom. Facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1, where you will meet people like Vicky, like Melissa, like Chris and Sue and everybody else. Thank you so much. Jesus, thank you so much for your support. It is absolutely my pleasure. I will see you next time. Goodbye.